It's 1874. An Iowa farmer watches his machine grind to a stop. Another chain belt has snapped. Harvest at its peak. Every minute counts, and now he's stuck again. Back then, when one link broke, you had to tear out the entire belt, haul it to a workshop. Days lost, crops at risk, but one man saw a way out. He wasn't an inventor, not officially, just a farm equipment dealer named William Dana Hewitt. His idea? A chain with links you could swap out, right there in the dirt. Fixed in minutes, not days. It looked simple, too simple, but it worked. And what started as a farmer's fix would quietly reshape American industry. Picture a hot Iowa afternoon in 1874. A farmer watches helplessly as his harvesting equipment grinds to a halt. Another chain belt has snapped. Each broken chain link threatened an entire day's work. At peak harvest time, delays like this could mean devastating losses. Problem was clear. Existing chain belts had a critical flaw. When one link failed, the entire belt had to be removed and taken to a workshop for repair. Days of productivity vanished while farmers waited for fixes, leaving crops vulnerable to weather and decay. William Dana Hewitt saw this struggle firsthand. As a farm implement dealer in Belle Plaine, Iowa, he wasn't a trained engineer, but he understood machinery inside and out. His solution was deceptively simple. On September 1, 1874, he received U.S. patent number 154,594. A detachable link that could be replaced right in the field. The design used tapered pins to secure square links, distributing the load evenly across sprockets. Farmers no longer had to dismantle entire belts or endure long days. Repairs could now be made in minutes. Hewitt's invention didn't just solve a problem, it redefined efficiency. The geometry of the links created broader bearing surfaces, reducing wear and preventing lateral motion. Chains could be adjusted on the fly, shortened or lengthened as needed. Farmers could carry spare links and keep their equipment running, even during the busiest days of harvest. In early 1875, Hewitt moved production to Chicago, partnering with John C. Coonley of the Chicago Malleable Iron Company. Chicago, with its booming industry, rail access, and skilled labor, was the perfect base. The Hewitt Manufacturing Company began producing not only chains, but also matching sprockets designed to work seamlessly with the new links. The business grew rapidly. In 1880, Hewitt founded the Link Belt Machinery Company, expanding into conveyors and industrial equipment. By 1888, the Link Belt Engineering Company was established, focusing on chain elevating systems. Early products centered on agriculture, but Hewitt saw broader potential. Around 1890, the company built its first steam-powered clamshell crane for coal handling, a machine that combined Hewitt's chains with robust mechanical systems. This wasn't just an incremental improvement, it marked the shift from farm implements to industrial machinery. Hewitt's detachable link started as a way to keep farmers working, but it became the foundation of an industrial empire, one that would drive America's growth for decades to come. Chicago in 1888 was a city of smoke and steel. Horse-drawn wagons clattered over cobblestones while factory whistles pierced the air. Amid this industrial chaos, William Dana Hewitt's simple chain link became indispensable on farms, and it proved just as vital in the factories and rail yards driving America's rapid growth. The Link Belt Machinery Company, founded in 1880, marked Hewitt's transition from selling components to building complete systems. Chicago, built after the Great Fire of 1871, was an industrial hub, with rail access to materials, markets, and skilled labor, a perfect base for expansion. By 1888, Hewitt had established the Link Belt Engineering Company in Philadelphia's Nicetown neighborhood, creating an eastern foothold. With plants in Chicago, Indianapolis, and Philadelphia, the company was like a bridge connecting America's industrial centers, enabling it to serve industries nationwide. Expanding across cities brought challenges. Coordinating production, maintaining quality, and meeting rising demand required careful management. Edward A. Turner, who joined during this period, played a pivotal role. He coined the link belt name and steered the company toward larger industrial applications, ensuring its systems met the needs of railroads and factories. A major breakthrough came around 1890 with the first wide-gauge steam-powered clamshell crane for coal handling. This machine, combining Hewitt's chain technology with robust mechanical systems, solved a critical problem: moving coal efficiently. Coal powered America's factories, trains, and cities, but manual methods were slow and labor-intensive. The crane could load coal faster with fewer workers, revolutionizing the process. By 1894, railroads like the New York Central and Philadelphia and Reading Railroads sought link belt custom coaling stations. Each was tailored to specific needs, from coal pocket sizes to loading speeds, keeping trains running on schedule. The Philadelphia plant specialized in heavy-duty systems, like a coal handling system for the Pennsylvania Railroad's Powelton Yard. Meanwhile, in Chicago, specialized conveyors for grain elevators and stockyards proved the durability of Hewitt's designs under grueling conditions. By 1900, Link-Belt had grown into a network of companies driving America's industrial boom, poised to unite its operations for the challenges of a new century. By 1906, the Link-Belt empire had grown into 3 separate companies: Hewitt Manufacturing Company in Chicago, producing detachable links; Link-Belt Machinery in Indianapolis, focusing on conveyors and industrial systems; and Link-Belt Engineering in Philadelphia, specializing in heavy-duty applications like railroad coaling stations. While they shared technology and a name, their independent operations created inefficiencies as industrial demand surged. William Dana Hewitt saw the need for change. Competing against consolidated giants like Allis-Chalmers and Bucyrus, he merged the 3 companies on December 1, 1906, forming the Link-Belt Company. This required unifying manufacturing plants across 5 cities, standardizing parts, and centralizing engineering expertise. The risks were high. Many mergers had failed due to clashing cultures or disrupted production. Charles Pearce, a mechanical engineer who had risen through the Philadelphia operation, became the company's leader. Pearce streamlined operations by introducing standardized parts across product lines, enabling interchangeable components for cranes, conveyors, and excavators. For example, a single gear design could now serve multiple machines, reducing inventory costs and speeding repairs, a groundbreaking approach at the time. This consolidation spurred innovation. In 1916, Link-Belt published its first full-line catalog, showcasing how standardized components could create custom solutions. By 1922, the company had introduced a full line of crawler-mounted crane shovels to complement its line of locomotive cranes and material handling equipment, freeing equipment from rail lines and revolutionizing mobility on job sites. Strategic acquisitions followed. In 1921, Link-Belt acquired H.W. Caldwell & Sons Chicago plant, gaining screw conveyor technology and machine-molded gear expertise. The deal also brought Caldwell's patented roller bearing technology, critical for heavy-duty applications. By 1925, Link-Belt operated 10 plants and 27 branch offices nationwide, with Indianapolis facilities alone spanning 30 acres. The 1936 launch of Speedomatic hydraulic controls marked a turning point. Operators who once struggled with heavy levers could now control machines with fingertip precision. One operator reportedly said, "It's like the machine reads your mind." The system became an industry standard, showcasing the value of Link-Belt's engineering consolidation. By the 1930s, the 1906 merger's success was undeniable. While others faltered during the Depression, Link-Belt's diversified products and efficient operations kept it thriving, laying the groundwork for its pivotal role in World War II's equipment boom. The year 1939 found Link-Belt as an established leader in heavy equipment, but the company stood at a crossroads. While their large cranes and excavators dominated industrial sites, a gap remained in their lineup for smaller, more versatile machines. This changed with the acquisition of Speeder Machinery Corporation, a Cedar Rapids firm that had pioneered the wheel-mounted excavator back in 1922 with their innovative tumble bug design. Where massive cranes ruled, a new era of compact innovation was emerging, and this strategic move would redefine Link-Belt's future. Speeder brought critical expertise in compact equipment to the table. The tumblebug excavator, mounted on rubber-tired wheels rather than rails or crawlers, could move between job sites under its own power, a revolutionary concept at the time. By integrating Speeder's technology into their operations as the Link-Belt Speeder Corporation subsidiary, the company offered a complete range of equipment, from massive rail-mounted cranes to three-quarter-yard excavators. This gave contractors a single source for projects of all sizes, from major industrial builds to smaller municipal jobs. The merger was like two gears meshing in a well-oiled machine. Speeder's innovative spirit combined with Link-Belt's standardized components and manufacturing processes. Challenges arose, particularly in integrating Speeder's engineering culture, but gradual consolidation allowed the company to maintain Speeder's product lines while enhancing them with Link-Belt's hallmark technologies, such as the 1936 Speedomatic hydraulic control system. This system gave operators unprecedented precision, even in compact equipment. The post-war construction boom saw Link-Belt Speeder expand dramatically. By the early 1950s, Link-Belt had extended its operations into Canada, setting up local facilities to better serve its northern markets. The crowning achievement of this era came in 1954 with the LS-98 excavator. Built on Link-Belt's full-function philosophy, every component was over-engineered to withstand 50% more stress than required. Operators loved its reliability, and many LS-98s remained in service for decades, some reportedly still working into the 21st century. The model became Link-Belt's most successful product, cementing their reputation for durability. International growth took a major step forward in 1962, when Japan's Sumitomo Heavy Industries began licensing Link-Belt designs. This partnership gave Sumitomo access to proven American technology while providing Link-Belt with a foothold in Asia's rapidly developing markets. The collaboration would deepen over time, eventually leading to full acquisition decades later. As the 1960s drew to a close, Link-Belt stood poised for another transformation. The construction equipment market was consolidating, and new corporate partnerships would soon reshape the industry. But the foundation laid during these expansion years, diversified product lines, international reach, and relentless focus on reliability would ensure the company's continued relevance in an evolving world. When FMC Corporation acquired Link-Belt in June 1967, they bought more than a construction equipment manufacturer. They inherited a 93-year-old engineering legacy. The deal gave FMC control of Link-Belt's 22 plants across North America at a time when the construction equipment sector was booming. However, many facilities relied on outdated production methods, and profitability lagged behind competitors despite the company's technological strengths. FMC, originally a food machinery company, had transformed under Robert H. Mallett's leadership into a diversified industrial conglomerate. Their vision for Link-Belt was ambitious: rebrand as FMC Link-Belt, inject funds in capital improvements, and expand the product line. In 1968, construction equipment operations consolidated under the FMC Link-Belt name. New models like the 238 excavator and upgraded crane lines followed, benefiting from FMC's deeper pockets for research and development. FMC's hydraulic expertise, dating back to the 1936 Speedomatic system, gave them an edge. This technology allowed operators to control heavy equipment with fingertip precision rather than wrestling with stiff manual levers. FMC modernized these systems across their product range, including the LS-98 excavator line, which retained its legendary durability while gaining updated controls and powertrains. But the late 1970s brought economic turmoil. The double-dip recession of 1980 to 1982 hit construction hard. Interest rates peaked at 22%, crushing equipment purchases. Plant utilization rates plummeted to 25%. In Cedar Rapids, the workforce shrank from 2,300 to 450, devastating local families and businesses. Bowling Green operations closed entirely. By 1983, construction equipment represented less than 15% of FMC's revenue, and rumors of divestment swirled. The turning point came from overseas. Sumitomo Heavy Industries, Link-Belt's Japanese licensing partner since 1962, saw potential where others saw failure. In 1986, they formed a 50-50 joint venture with FMC, combining Link-Belt's engineering heritage with Sumitomo's lean manufacturing technologies. Production moved to Lexington, Kentucky, creating an efficient hub. Sumitomo introduced advanced hydraulic technology while preserving proven designs like the LS98. By 1988, FMC reduced its stake to 35% as Sumitomo took operational control. The joint venture preserved jobs, improved quality, and made Link-Belt competitive globally. This partnership bridged tradition and modernization, setting the stage for Sumitomo's eventual full acquisition and Link-Belt's next evolution. The partnership between Link-Belt and Sumitomo Heavy Industries began in 1962 with a licensing agreement that allowed Sumitomo to manufacture Link-Belt-designed cranes under the Sumitomo Link-Belt brand. While initially modest, this collaboration deepened in 1972 with a joint R&D agreement. Link-Belt focused on mechanical systems, while Sumitomo developed hydraulic components, a division of labor that would shape their future. By the mid-1980s, FMC Corporation, Link-Belt's parent company, faced financial pressures, and the long-standing technical relationship with Sumitomo became critical. The 1986 joint venture formalized decades of cooperation, consolidating operations at Link-Belt's Lexington, Kentucky facility. Sumitomo's lean manufacturing methods and advanced hydraulics gave them increasing influence, even as the partnership was officially a 50-50 split. Hydraulic technology became a turning point. Link-Belt's rugged mechanical designs were legendary, but Sumitomo's advanced hydraulic systems were better suited to modern excavators. This created tension as Lexington's production lines were still optimized for traditional equipment. However, by 1989, Sumitomo had quietly increased its stake in the joint venture, reflecting their growing technical contributions. Operators began noticing the difference in performance. One remarked, "The controls felt smoother, like the machine was reading my mind." The 1994 launch of the Quantum Series excavators marked a milestone. These machines combined Sumitomo's hydraulic expertise with Link-Belt's structural engineering. The result? Excavators with smoother controls, greater digging forces, and the durability that defined Link-Belt. Operators immediately recognized the improvement. Modern machines that still carry the DNA of classic Link-Belts. The Quantum Series demonstrated the potential of blending American design with Japanese precision. By 1998, financial and technological pressures forced a decisive restructuring. The excavator division spun off into LBX Company, a new joint venture between Sumitomo and Case Corporation. The remaining crane operations continued as Link-Belt cranes. This split made strategic sense. Excavators required different manufacturing processes and sales channels than cranes. But it marked the end of an era. No longer would the same company build the both LS-118 crawler crane and the excavators that worked beside it on job sites. Sumitomo gradually acquired full ownership of both companies in subsequent years. LBX Company focused exclusively on excavators and material handlers, while Link-Belt cranes doubled down on telescopic and lattice boom models. The separation allowed each business to specialize. Today, both operate as Sumitomo subsidiaries while maintaining separate engineering teams in Lexington. The Link-Belt name endures on cranes rolling off assembly lines just miles from where FMC and Sumitomo first joined forces decades ago. What began as a licensing deal in 1962 evolved into one of construction equipment's most enduring transnational partnerships. The 1998 restructuring didn't sever ties. It created two focused companies that preserved Link-Belt's legacy while embracing global manufacturing realities. Walk through any equipment yard today and you'll see the results. Excavators with Sumitomo hydraulics wearing Link-Belt decals, and cranes with classic American designs built using Japanese precision methods. Few corporate transitions maintain brand identity across such radical changes, but against all odds, Link-Belt did. Twice. The 1998 corporate restructuring that created LBX Company marked a turning point for Link-Belt's excavator division. No longer sharing resources with the crane business, this new standalone entity could focus entirely on earth-moving innovation. This shift came at a critical time. Construction firms needed machines capable of navigating increasingly complex job sites, from tight urban spaces to rugged wilderness areas. LBX responded with purpose-built solutions tailored to these challenges. The LX series excavators, introduced in the early 2000s, showcased this new direction. These machines incorporated electronic engine control technology, setting new standards for efficiency and responsiveness. Contractors quickly recognized the impact of the Spin Ace line, launched in 2002, which addressed the growing demand for compact equipment. With a minimum swing radius design, these excavators excelled in confined spaces like urban construction zones, under overpasses, and inside industrial plants, where traditional machines struggled. One operator recalled how the Spin Ace allowed his team to complete a downtown project weeks ahead of schedule, thanks to its maneuverability. Sumitomo's full acquisition of LBX on April 30, 2010 further accelerated innovation. Leveraging the parent company's resources, LBX introduced the X3 series in March 2011. These interim Tier 4 compliant excavators delivered up to 10% better fuel efficiency while increasing lift capacity, an achievement that redefined expectations. The establishment of LBX do Brasil in 2012 expanded the company's reach into emerging South American markets, solidifying its global presence. By 2014, LBX engineers were breaking new ground with the X4 series. Final Tier 4 certification came standard, but the real advancements were in operator comfort and usability. Intuitive controls, improved ergonomics, and enhanced visibility reduced fatigue during long shifts. The simultaneous launch of the 40 series forestry equipment demonstrated LBX's commitment to specialized applications, with machines designed specifically for the demands of logging operations. The Lexington Customer Experience Center, opened in 2019, underscored LBX's dedication to operator feedback. Contractors tested equipment in real-world conditions, leading to innovations like customizable joystick buttons in the X4S series. These refinements boosted fuel economy by 19% and improved cycle times by 5%, directly impacting productivity. LBX Company embodies both continuity and transformation. From its roots in Link-Belt's legacy to its modern innovations, LBX has evolved from dusty fields to high-tech job sites, proving that specialization drives true advancement. Today, Link-Belt continues this legacy with cutting-edge systems like UltiFlow hydraulics, which optimize oil flow for smoother, more efficient operation. Telematics systems like Remote Care prevent downtime with GPS tracking and remote diagnostics, while the Pulse 2.0 crane control system offers real-time load data on a 10-inch touchscreen, blending UT's vision with modern digital precision. That Iowa farm where UT created his detachable link feels worlds apart from today's ultra-modern job sites, yet the same principle endures, solving real problems with durable solutions. Link-Belt's 150-year journey shows how each innovation, from chain repairs to touchscreen controls, builds on the last, like links in an unbreakable chain. Next time you see a crane or excavator in action, remember the legacy behind that smooth hydraulic movement and robust frame. As we close this chapter on Link-Belt's remarkable journey, we're left with a deep admiration for an ordinary farm implement dealer who dared to reimagine a simple chain link, and in doing so, transform not just harvests, but the machinery of an entire industry forever. Thank you for watching.